Ash when I catch him, I bend him like Beckham. Yeah, that's my little baby, my boo. Class is in session, I'm not one for testing. Confession, I dropped out of school.
Hey guys, it's Brain here, and today we're going to do a tier list video. And this tier list video will be on an album called This Is Weird by Khary, one of my favorite artists and rappers up to date right now. And this album is what I've been recently listening to, and it's pretty great, and it's amazing. So, let's get right into it. So the first single that we're rating off the album from This Is Weird is called In the Middle of the Forest. And that is definitely an S tier off the bat. So In the Middle of the Forest is an S tier for me simply due to the fact that it's has awesome lyrics and the flow is amazing and the beat was awesome. Austin, who helped produce this track, just killed it. It was amazing. And the weird vibe to it in the beginning was awesome as well. Now, in the beginning, I don't know if you guys know who Luna is, but Luna, he is a YouTuber who does gaming, commentary, and etc. And he gets featured in this track by being the voice of the kid who says, Khary is being weird again. And I love that because that makes a cameo slash reference to Luna because originally lots of people who were Khary fans or are Khary fans like me came from Luna because he would play Khary's tracks at the end of his videos. And one day I was watching a video and it was awesome. And at the end, I listened to one of his songs called 2 a.m. There's Ballard. And I loved it and I fell in love with it. And that's when I started following him due to his song. Anyways, let's move on. So the next single that we're gonna rate is called "Cut Your Hair." So "Cut Your Hair" is a single, but I don't really consider it a single, and so do others. But it's more of a skit because it has parentheses skit, and it features Jermaine Fowler. And I think it's C tier. It's not D tier. It's not that terrible. And it's not F tier because it's not trash. So automatically C tier. It is great. It says "Cut Your Hair" because in the beginning, in the intern days, Khary used to be an intern, and he would be the coffee boy for his company that he worked at that was called Fader. So he used to intern there. And his boss would make him go get coffee and run errands as well. And during that time, that's when he got inspired from his intern days to start Intern Aquarium, and he quit being coffee boy and he started pursuing his dream as a rapper. Hence the title Cut Your Hair. It later gets explained that after pursuing his talent and his goals, his boss meets him in the streets by chance and coincidence, just by mere fate. Fate aside, has just decided that these two will meet once again. And they start chatting, and the boss starts telling Khary, he's like, "Whoa, man, you look different from last time that we saw each other when you used to work for me. Remember you used to have long hair, and now look at you. You have cut your hair now because recently, if you go on Kari's IG, his hairstyle is different from the years back when he was an intern, and it is now shorter due to the summer and because of his recent changes that he's made in his wardrobe and style. So yeah, that one's a solid C tier. The third track that we're gonna rate is called "Revenge of the Intern." So "Revenge of the Intern," D tier, not really. C tier, nope. B tier, nope. Higher. A tier, nope. Definitely S tier. S tier for me for "Revenge of the Intern" is simply due to the fact that the heat from it is fire. Like honestly, I think I had to call the fire department to come save me because the track goes really hard and it goes fast. The lyricism in it is awesome and it is epic. He mentions Naruto, the anime, and mentions the Hokage role as well, which is awesome because he likes to watch anime and he's a man of culture. And so would other fans of his work agree, and probably weeaboos and anime dorks like myself would agree. Not only that, but he has a fast delivery in Revenge of the Intern that it's just way too awesome to pass and rate it lower than B or A. So that's why I'm giving it an S tier. Alright, the fourth single that we will be rating is called Did I Fail? So, Did I Fail? Let's see, it's not a C, definitely not a D. I wouldn't say it would be an A, and I wouldn't say it would be S tier. It'd definitely be a B tier. So, Did I Fail is a B tier. I feel like it is a B tier because it has an amazing message due to the fact that it says, Did I fail? And he starts reflecting on his life choices and his decisions and other routes that he could have taken throughout his years that he was pursuing his rap dream. And he mentions a line where he says he could have gone to college and went with that girl, but instead he started pursuing his dream about rapping, something like that, and that it gave him depression. Along those lines. I just can't remember fondly because I haven't listened to Did I Fail in a while, since I've been listening to some other singles on the track that I really enjoy and really like to play again and again. So yeah, Did I Fail? Solid B tier. The next single that we have is called Planet Earth. So Planet Earth is an S tier automatically, simply due to the fact that it's called Planet Earth, and this track was released on Friday, and it was 2 days after Earth Day, which was amazing. And it had a beautiful message how when we were going through all that Black Lives Matter and stuff and all that depressing problems that we had in 2020 and other problems that we're currently experiencing, like for example in this line it goes like, kids are worried about a school shooter, but they should be worried about a tutor. That really hits home due to the fact that I'm still a student and I'm still currently attending school, and that school shooting is still a real threat and still a real problem here in America. And he also mentions that he doesn't trust politicians, and that is a good line because currently the presidential administration is really not doing an amazing job with the whole coronavirus and et cetera, and not to mention that they keep lying with a whole bunch of stuff, and they keep getting away with a whole bunch of corruption due to the incompetence of a bunch of politicians and Congress members. So yeah, that is awesome. And not only that, but Planet Earth is also kind of a sequel and a nod to a previous track in the Intern Aquarium days called A Year in Space. A Year in Space dealt with him self-reflecting again during his 20s when he was pursuing his Intern Aquarium dream of becoming a rapper for the very first time and doing it. And that's when he started thinking and reflecting about his problems that he had, like with his mom and family issues and etc. So automatically S tier. The next single that we have is called Big Fan, and this one's another skit. And this one's another C tier. Big Fan is alright. It has Jermaine Fowler once again playing the boss and Khary just doing his thing and being the intern role once again and barely speaking in this one. So in this one, we get invited into the boss's office once more, and Khary steps in because he has to, and he was forced to from the previous single, Cut Your Hair. So in this one, Khary starts meeting an intern that Jermaine Fowler has. And as they're talking, the big fan slash the intern who is interning and taking the place of Khary is a real huge fan of Kari's work, and he has heard his first single called Intern Aquarium, which I find amazing and a cool nod to that. And I find it funny as well because to the certain point when they start talking, and as Jermaine Fowler is the boss, and he starts saying, "Oh, you know his work? You know his work called Intern Aquarium. You heard of it? All right." And then he starts going on an epic tirade and starts getting frustrated to the point where he's like, "Hey, you shut the, up," and breaks a bottle of Hennessy or a bottle of something, and you could hear the sound effect in the climax getting to there, and it's just funny and completely laughable and realistic, honestly. Next single that I'm going to put on the scale is Fuchsia. So Fuchsia, S plus, nah, it's too much. It's definitely A tier. So Fuchsia's A tier due to the fact that the theme is about love and having a healthy relationship with your ex-lover. pretty basic and pretty solid, and it's an awesome message. I also love the fact that Khary mentions his ex-lover when he says the lines that he went to the recent shows that he has done during 2018 to 2019, and that he was near the hometown of his lover, and how it reminded him of the memories that he had of her. And that was wonderful, and I like that. And it made me also relate to him as a person due to the personal growth he has shown even after the breakup and after doing his musical career and others projects. All right, so the next single that I'm going to rate is called Two. So two is S tier, no question about that. So two is an S tier due to the fact that it is really emotional and it has a philosophical view of the world about us as humans. So Karian two realizes that we can all be ungrateful as humans, and he says we have two hands, we have 2 feet. Why not use them? Why not use me for life? I know I may have butchered that lyric up, but yeah, somewhere around those lines. That's what he said. And I resonate with that because we really don't appreciate ourselves too much in life and how we have the best health, the best opportunities, and the best decisions and future that we have for ourselves. And that's why I like to so much that it deserves to be S tier. The next single that we will move on to is called Ugly slash You'll Sleep with Someone Else, featuring Aaron Taos. So this one is definitely S tier material, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to move it to A tier. Now, I know this may be controversial, but other people will categorize it as two separate entities since it is two songs in one track. But I'm considering all in one as one single. So this single, Ugly and You'll Sleep with Someone Else, is A tier simply due to the fact that Ugly starts off really great with the beat and how Corey's like, think I'm mine, think I'm mine, think I'm mine, get a new bitch, yeah. And it starts off pretty great with the beat, produced by Austin Mark, who's an awesome producer with beats on Kari's singles and tracks. Awesome, awesome doing right there. And it is so catchy as well that I love it so much, and I just keep replaying it and coming back to it. And it is simply an A tier due to the fact I don't hate that it's slow or You'll Sleep with Someone Else, but the transition from the next track to the other just takes a while, and it makes me want to skip parts of it just to hear the other half of the song, which is why it is mostly an A tier. But other than that, they're both amazing tracks. They're both amazing. And You'll See With Someone Else is basically the other part of Ugly where it talks about how, unfortunately, even though you love the person so much to death, they'll eventually have feelings or temptations to cheat on you and go with someone else who's a bit better than you in certain aspects, whether it's attraction or physical or mental or emotional. And that's a sad reality. And Kara just starts saying, "You can never love me like I do. You can never love me." No. Yeah, basically all that. And I just love that single. Always love it that I just repeated. Anyways, the next single that we will be reading is called Nomad. So Nomad definitely belongs into the A tier category, and Nomad belongs there because it's been a song that's already been released since 2018, so it's not really new. It's just a track that's been reposted and reused for this album, which I don't mind. It's just that it's awesome that this one is on this album. So Nomad basically is Kari introducing the theme of him feeling homeless. Not homeless in the aspect where he doesn't have a home, but rather that he doesn't have a place to express himself for who he truly is. And this is further expressed when he talks about the line where he was homeless in a sense where he couldn't crash and afford a nice place to live, and he had to crash on his friend's room and crash on the floor and sleep there for a good while. And he also goes more into depth about his family issues and problems, like how his father Didn't see eye to eye with him a lot, and how they always kept arguing a bit in family matters about him wasting his years in college and not really doing great, and him dropping out. And while he was doing that, trying to chase his dream as an artist and becoming a rapper, which I like. The next single that we will be rating is called Forget It. So Forget It will be another C tier. Wait, you know what? Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. It'll be a B tier. So Forget It beats the others because I think it's short, it's simple, and it's sweet. Not only that, but the beat is awesome with Mark at it again in the interlude. And it is short, and Khary just basically goes on a wild tangent about how he keeps forgetting stuff and how his mind keeps on thinking and getting lost into his thoughts. So I like that, and it has a cool, weird vibe to it. So I just like it. So I'm giving it a B tier and ranking it higher than the other skits that we've heard and rated. The next single that I will be rating is called "Fallen in Line." So "Fallen in Line" is definitely another A tier. Fallen in Line basically has 3 to 4 features on it. So has a feature from Sam Weiss and Sylvan LaCue and others. And Khary basically on this track has fun with the long nature of the song and uses the vocal talents of his friends that are featured in this single. So in this one, Khary just basically freestyles a bit and has some playful beats and more vibey and fun approach to this single, and basically just tries to go hard at it. And in the middle, he goes really hard into it with the line of he is an American psycho and that he's not a rifle loaded and he's ready to go off. Something along those lines. I can't remember that well. And that was an awesome, clever line that I really liked right there because it went really fast. All that part, all the way to till he finished. And not only that, but the features are awesome. They go great with his vocals because the features go into the beginning of the chorus, and then Khary eventually picks up the pace and picks up the slack, and then finishes it off from there, and as well with the other features. Other than that, yeah, basically, yeah, 18. Um, all right, so the next skit that we will be reading is called Dolores. Dolores, Dolores. I'm giving Dolores a B tier. So I know that people would probably disagree with me and say, Dolores, a B tier? What? Are you crazy? And I know it would have been a C tier along with the other two. But what makes Dolores stand out is due to the fact that Khary once again interacts with his old boss. And his old boss brings up the fact that he doesn't miss Khary and that he's replaceable. And brings up the fact that in case things go south for his rapping career and his musical chance as an artist, he can come back to the company, but someone is taking his spot currently right now, and he is just a replaceable employee. And the boss mentions that he has 74 to 75 and plus employees. That he mentions one intern. Her name is Dolores, and he mentions the fact that Dolores is 75 years in age and above, and going at it in life and working for him as an intern. And she is willing to die for him to keep going as an intern and keep making that money and at least working. And I find that really funny because Khary used to be an intern, and the intern aquarium vibes and the intern aquarium stuff is all again going into full circle once again. And I also like the fact that they play around with the Dolores title because Dolores is relating to the fact that there's an intern lady, an old lady, mind you, that is an intern, and her name is Dolores, and she's still working as an intern with the boss. The next single that we will be rating on the This Is Weird album is called Mobbin' 2. Mobbin' 2, Mobbin' 2. Definitely S tier material, but unfortunately, I will have to give it. I'm gonna have to give it. I'm gonna have to give it a B tier, guys. Mm, Actually, you know what? Nah, scratch that. I'm giving it an A tier. It's almost perfect, up to an S tier, but definitely an A tier. Now, if you guys don't know, there is Mobbin 1, which is just Mobbin. And Mobbin 2 is an A due to the fact that Mobbin 1 hits harder than Mobbin 2. As the saying goes, you can never beat the original, guys. And that is certainly true in this case with this single. Mobbin 2 has an alright chorus, but it's just repetitive. And to me, it doesn't feel right with the verses because they're fast paced and they have a very good flow. But the chorus to me just it doesn't ruin it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't do it justice to me. And Mobbin 2, I love it at the fact that there's a sequel to Mobbin 1 because Mobbin 1 is amazing and it goes hard and it really is playful. And Mobbin 2 is the same style. It's just that the verse are really faster than the original, and the beat that was produced by Austin Mark goes well with the single. It really goes well. The only thing that I didn't like was really the chorus. The chorus really just didn't fit well because it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't do it justice, guys, okay? Because saying that I quit my job and something like that, I can't remember the chorus part, but it just doesn't go well. Like, yeah, I just can't get over the fact about that from Mobbin 2. Just can't. Anyways, the next single that we will be grading on the scale, the next single is called Satellites in Rearview Mirrors, featuring Misu. So Satellites in Rearview Mirrors, that is definitely S tier material right there, guys. Simply due to the fact that it's playful, it's fun, it has mellow and chill vibes, and I love it. I just fuck with it so much. Alright guys, the last two singles that we have on the scale are Anime Saga Ending and I Love You Bitch. So, Anime Saga Ending is obviously an S tier. I have no need for an explanation for it, just due to the fact that the ending is sweet to the album and it's just awesome, and the mellow vibes and chill and reflection about the Anime Saga ending is just beautiful. It's a beautiful ending to a beautiful story from humble beginnings about the Intern days up until to the This Is Weird album, and the ending of Anime Saga Ending just closes the chapter on the weird saga and weird adventures that we experience with Khary on his album and music. As for I Love You Bit, I Love You B is pretty good. Has a pretty good message about love, just like Fuchsia, and I love it to death just because of the pure theme of love and how I can relate to the lyrics and how it makes me relaxed and chill. And I especially love the lyric and lines where it goes like, "And we climb, and we climb." Yeah, I've been going crazy, but I know what's in my mind. Though I'm not one for dancing, but I knew we still fly slow. Anyways, I mumbled the last part, but that's because I kind of forgot. But yeah, I
A chance that you were scared to give me. Pick my own cotton, I'm rocking my dreams. Creative capital, shout out to my city. Revenge of the interns and copying my teas. Amazing.